What's up, guys? This is Jared with Upcoming Fitness, coming to you guys live every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. with healthy lifestyle tips and hints. So, here we go. The shoulders and hips, really well explained. Okay, so last week I talked to you guys a lot about your shoulders, how to fix the shoulder that was off, and how the shoulders are the steering wheel for the body. This week I talked about how the hips connect the upper and the lower body, and that if the shoulders are the steering wheel, then the hips are the control center, right? They are where everything has to travel through. All forces travel through the hips. So yesterday on the show, I went ahead and I showed you guys a couple of drawings for what it looks like when the body's out of balance. They looked like this. This was like this force leak thing. I went ahead today and I wanted to draw for you. I wanted to build something for you guys to show you really what happens. So I told you guys, so this top portion would be your shoulder. The bottom portion would be your hips. The red thing in the middle is your spine, guys. So what I want to show you guys is that if my right shoulder, if you're looking at this from here, my right shoulder raises, then my left hip raises. And this is how the body builds connections. So when you don't raise all one side at one time. The opposite hip rises with the opposite shoulder. This is important for things like walking, right? Or running or throwing. The opposite arm working with the opposite portion of the body. But when we're talking about sitting or standing or static posture, it becomes an issue. Or lifting weights. Talking about squatting, jumping, landing. If you are in this posture all the time, where you have one shoulder higher than the other, and you have this opening here, what you get is your spine starts to twist too. I haven't found a good way to represent that, but your spine will actually start to twist over toward that open side as well. And what you get is a lot of pain in the back, right through here. You get a lot of pain in your back, and then it radiates down to your knees. So this opens up, and I get what's called a force leak out through here. So I get a lot of pressure in my low back and my spine, and then I start to get pain in my knee. Now, typically, the knee that starts to hurt is the knee that's on this hip that rises up. Now, I'm going to work on a better three-dimensional explanation of what happens here and what this relationship is with the body, but that's just a two-dimensional thing. So when the body starts to make these changes, right? When it starts to shift up through here, there are a lot of things. This is just what we call the frontal plane. So these are just like, this is like your lats and your glutes or your pecs and your hip flexors. But when we really get into it, there are a bunch of other things that happen as this tilt happens, where this portion of the body both externally rotates, so my leg turns out, and my ass sticks out on one side. So what I get is another little twist like this as this happens. And that's the body trying to create more distance for it. That's of the utmost importance that you guys understand this whole diagonal contralateral relationship in the body and how these things work. I could show you the relationship that I actually want to explain. And so what I'm going to do next week is I'm going to go ahead and show you how to fix this issue. So if I have this right or left shoulder, whichever shoulder you want to call it, it's my right, probably you guys' left. If I have this right shoulder hike up here and this left hip hike, we're going to go through exactly what muscles are going to be tight, what muscles are going to be loose, and how to go through and fix these issues all next week. That's what we're going to be doing, guys, is I'm going to be going through practical ways, what exercises you need to do in the gym, what muscles you need to release in your warm-up, because your warm-up is going to be the most important. Once I get in balance, my warm-up is going to be the most important part of my workout, right? So it's really, my warm-up is going to set me up to balance my whole body out. So I'm going to use my warm-up to release certain tight muscles, and then I'm going to structure my workout to go ahead and really fully activate and engage those muscles that are weak or loosened from being imbalanced. Hopefully you guys get this. I think I'm pretty excited about this little explanation, this really simple thing that kind of shows you that left to right relationship. And when people make, complicated statements like the body forms balance contralaterally or in X patterns, this can give you that real good view. And it does this not just left to right, it also does it front to back, guys. And so I'm going to work on getting a really, really good three-dimensional figure to show you guys exactly what happens in that front to back side as these happen. Because as this happens, you also get a front to back change in relationship where, these muscles over here get long and lengthened and these muscles here shorten and tighten. Okay, anyway, that's it, man. That's it for today. We're going to move into actually how to fix some of those imbalances and what exactly is causing. Specifically, we're going to work on a right shoulder height, right, which normally accompanies a left hip height. So normally if my right shoulder rises, my left hip slightly comes up with that. And so I built for you guys and I showed you guys this relationship the other day, whereas this top bar would be your shoulders and the bottom bar would be your hips. And so when you see it happens is when that right shoulder hikes, that left hip hikes with it. Guys, and this is how your body forms a lot of what we call force couples, or how muscles are linked together, is that a lot of this stuff is cross body. That's how the body forms this nice X pattern to create stability, especially in the spine in a lot of ways. And then across any kind of major joint, it really likes to form that X pattern stability. So what happens is when that right shoulder hikes up, that left hip hikes with it, keeping this tension the same. And then the right hip will drop and the left shoulder will drop and come in. So what I want you to pay attention to, guys, when we get into fixing this issue, is what muscles become tight or shortened and what muscles become elongated and lengthened, right, or loose, right? And so what you'll notice is that my left lat gets tight and my low back on my left side gets tight along with it. Hold on for a second. I locked my wife out. Guys, hold on for 1 second. I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Didn't plan on doing this from home today. I'm actually planning on doing it from out and about. Okay, so anyway, this is the spine. My left side gets shortened. So all the muscles on my left side, when I have that right hip hike, I'm going to have a shortened left lat, and I'm going to have a tight and condensed left erector on my left-hand side. And so what I want to do is I want to stretch as much as possible through this left side, open this side up, right? It's going to allow me to shift weight back to my right-hand side, which is going to really allow me to start activating my right glute. And then I want to open up, a lot of times I'm going to have a little bit of twist. I want to open up this right shoulder, and that's going to give me a chance to get in here and start to activate these back muscles on the right-hand side. So I want to open up the front so I can contract in the back on the right-hand side. So I'm going to stretch through here laterally, and then I'm going to open up through this pec on the right-hand side. Things like a stretch on the wall where I open the pec up really good, and I work on pulling this shoulder blade down and back and opening up that whole entire area there. And so it's going to allow me to go ahead and straighten these shoulders across, be nice and even and balanced through there. And then when it comes to the hips, allows me to balance those guys out so that when I go into those squats, I don't overly shift. What I used to have was a really bad shift to my left. I still have a slight one, and I would overly shift to my left-hand side. So a big part of fixing these kind of imbalances, guys, is actually going to be the exercises and stretches that you do prior to your workout. You have to get in and actually release those tight muscles so that you can activate the opposing muscles. So if I have a right shoulder, I'm going to go deeper into this tomorrow, and we'll talk about this probably all week, guys. So if I have this right shoulder hike, I'm going to lengthen everything on my left. I'm going to stretch out my lat on my left-hand side. I'm going to open up my erectors and my back on my left-hand side. Then I'm going to work on tightening. I'm going to open up the my pec on my right hand side. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to start activating some of the looser muscles, and that's going to be the rear delts on the right hand side, my low trap, mid traps on my right hand side, as well as trying to get my right side glute and TFL to activate. So all those things are going to be in my warm-up exercises, and then I'm probably going to be able to work out pretty regular. For tomorrow's post, I'll go over some ways that you should change your workout for specifically for activating and balancing that stuff out. You do want to make some workout changes depending on how imbalanced you are, or jacked up you are, or really even how strong you are. If you're a really strong person and you have some serious muscle imbalances, then you probably can't continue, squatting 300 or 400 pounds every workout with those same muscle imbalances prevalent. So what you'd have to do is you can continue to squat, but you want to significantly reduce the weight so that you don't see those compensation patterns. So when I'm squatting, right, if I have the barbell on my back, and typically when I squat, I shift my hips in one direction or the other. Once I get in there and I start to loosen up those muscles, now I want to squat, and I only want to squat enough weight where I can see my hips stay nice and the same all the way through. Or if I have a problem where I overly lean forward in a squat, I want to see myself only squat enough weight where I can keep my torso decently vertical. And even now I can feel like this kind of hip wants to bunch up and tighten up. And I need to really focus on making sure that this side of my hip stays really tight, and these erectors on my right hand side really go ahead and activate and allow me to get into that position. And so those are the things that we really want to work on. And we just take that into our workout and we progress as we go. Tomorrow I'll talk about some specific exercises to really go ahead and activate some of those loose muscles. I also talk about tomorrow really specific stretches. Just wanted to give you guys kind of an overview of how we're going to attack this problem this week. And every day I'm going to give you a new tool or task to fixing it. This is something that I've started doing with my online programs, my online clients. We're seeing a lot of benefits from it, fixing a lot of shoulders and knees and hips, even across the internet, which is really, really awesome. I just want to share all that with you guys, and make sure that you're out there doing what you can to make sure your body moves really, really healthy. And you learn that through moving properly, I can fix a lot of joint issues as well as improve my performance. All right, that's it, guys. I will catch you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Again, to share upcoming fitness with healthy lifestyle tips and hints. If you liked today's post, go ahead and like it. And if you really liked it, go ahead and share it with your friends so they may learn something new too as well. All right, if you have any topics or things that you'd like me to discuss for next week, or you're having any specific issues that you'd like me to get into on these live posts, go ahead, please comment below or just DM me, and I will go ahead and address your topic as soon as possible.